So if we have a look at examples of this drawing of a gargoyle, we see this first example. The general outline and the shape, he's done a gridded enlargement, is pretty accurate. Looks a slightly bit bigger on this side than it does here. It's good underlying use of tone, which he's added with the stump, but then it's a little bit more simplistic in how he's added the details and the outline, etc. So for example, the textures, there's a few little marks, but it's quite rough in places. So that's just about into the secures. If we look at the next example, here we have something which is more accurately drawn up into the excellences. The tone has been very subtly added. It could have a few more fine details and made a little bit sort of sharper and more detail in places, just to make it look a little bit more kind of pop from the page, be a little bit more striking. You can see me doing bits with telescopic pencil, adding these extra details, and hopefully you can see that starting to look a bit sharper and a bit better. So that's getting into the excellences, so that's a 9 out of 10. If we look at the next level up, you can see slightly bigger drawing, bit more range of dark and light tone, and that's good enough to push it into a high excellence. So I've given this just about getting into the 11s out of 10. Could still be a little bit sharper and a bit more sort of precise in places. Looks like it's smudged a little bit in places, so I'll just do this little bit to give you an idea. Just sharpening bits up. And again, this top area, a bit more kind of texture and detail. It's always quite a good idea to work back into a drawing after you were blending with the stump. So that's an 11 out of 10. If we look at one which is the next step up, if you look at this one which is the next step up, it's a lot more striking. There's a bigger range of light areas and really dark shadows, so it pops from the page to a much greater extent, and that is good enough to get a 12 out of 10.